So good morning everyone. Today we will be discussing about Bose-Einstein condensation. It is a continuation to the last class. So in the last class we have seen that the number of particles at the excited level Ne, which is less than or equal to V into 2 pi m kT raised to 3 by 2 divided by h cube into 2.612. So this was the value of maximum possible value for G 3 by 2 that we have seen in the last class, and where V is the volume of the system. Okay, now in order to occur this Bose-Einstein condensation, the total number of particles should be greater than this limiting condition. Why that so? It is so because the number of particles, the particles after completing this limiting condition will come to the ground state level. Then the total number of particles is greater than this Ne, that is the excited number of excited particle. Then the remaining particle will come to the ground state level. So it for that it requires a more number of particles which should be greater than this limited condition. Then only this Bose-Einstein condensation will be occurring. So this is the equation for which we call it as condition for Bose-Einstein condensation. N greater than V into 2 pi mkt 3 by 2 h cube into 2.612, where capital N represent the total number of particles. Okay, now we'll just consider where in this equation, if you consider that the number of particles and volume is constant and temperature is varying, and if you do so, what you will be obtaining is that you can identify the temperature condition, at what temperature, at what is the condition for temperature in order to occur Bose-Einstein condensation will be understand from this approach. So over here you can see that from the above equation, that is N greater than V into 2 pi mkt raised to 3 by 2 divided by h cube into 2.612. From that representation in itself I can find out the value for T. So that T raised to 3 by 2, which will be less than NH cube divided by V into 2 pi mkt 2 pi mkt raised to 3 by 2 into 2.612 will be there. So this is the value for condition for what? This is a condition for occurring Bose-Einstein condensation. Okay. Now this is T 3 by 2, right? So if you want to find the exact temperature representation, so T will be equal to what? T will be equal to NH cube divided by V into 2 pi mkt raised to 3 by 2 into 2.612, okay, raised to 2 by 3. Okay, then this is the temperature. This is the temperature which so below this limiting condition, that means that this temperature will be observing the Bose-Einstein condensation. Thus this is, we can say, the condition for temperature condition for Bose-Einstein condensation in order to occur. And this temperature, so the temperature below this limiting condition, okay, then at that temperature we can say that the Bose-Einstein condensation will occur. And this limiting value now, so NH cube divided by V 2 pi mkt raised to 3 by 2 2.61 raised to 2 by 3, this we can call it as the characteristic temperature. Okay, characteristic temperature. Characteristic temperature Tc equal to NH cube divided by V 2 pi mkt raised to 3 by 2 into 2.612. So this is the characteristic temperature. We can note it down, and we can see that this characteristic temperature, okay, Tc depends on, which is depends on what, which is depends on mass, okay, also the particle density. What is the particle density representation? Particle density is small n, which is equal to n by v, total number of particles divided by the volume, that is the particle density. So this characteristic temperature is depending on what? It is depending on the mass and the number of particles in a volume, that is the particle density representation. Now by considering this particle representation, that is, sorry, this characteristic temperature, I can say that if the temperature is less than the characteristic temperature, you will occur Bose-Einstein condensation will occur at this scenario. Okay, so where the number of particles at the ground state level will be more, so most of the particle will be occupied at the ground state. Okay, so this is the occupied number of particle at the ground state. So most of the particle will be at the ground state at this situation at below characteristic temperature. And if the temperature of the system is greater than or equal to characteristic temperature, so at that time, so this is, we call it as the excited state. Okay, the particle will be at excited energy level, and where the number of particles at the excited level Ne will be occupied, mostly occupied at the excited levels. Okay, so this is a representation with respect to the characteristic temperature. One can say that below the characteristic temperature, Bose-Einstein condensation will occur. Okay, now from the above representation, from the characteristic equation, one can also say that the number of particle, so the number of particle will be equal to V into 2 pi m k Tc. Okay, so by considering that equation, characteristic temperature equation, so number of particle at the characteristic temperature, that is equal to divided by h cube 2.612. So this is the number of particle at the characteristic temperature, and the number of particle at the number of particle at the excited level Ne equal to V into 2 pi m k Tc. Okay, why do I this is actually KTC, so I will be just replacing that. So KTC divided by H cube 2.612. Okay, so here this Tc I can actually remove, because the number of particles will be more at what, so which will be equal to temperature less than or equal to Tc, so which I can say that T will be equal to Tc at this situation. T will be equal to Tc, so I can replace this characteristic temperature with the temperature we are giving for number of particles if you are calculating the number of particles at the excited level. Okay, so this is the equation number 1, and equation number 2 if I take. Okay, then if I take equation number 2 divided by 1, or n2 divided by 1, if you take, then what we will be getting, we will be actually getting Ne divided by n. So we know that by comparing these two equations on the above, so all the terms except Tc and T are same. Okay, so we can say that Ne by n means it is actually T by Tc raised to 3 by 2. So this is the value I will be getting, and from this one, the number of particles at the excited level in terms of total number of particles, I can represent as n into T by Tc raised to 3 by 2. Okay, so this is an important relation that you have to note it down. Okay, of course this one also, the number of particles are sorry, okay, the number of the particle at the characteristic temperature. So okay, so this also you have to note down. number of particles at the characteristic temperature. Okay, and now the number of particles at the excited level Ne equal to N into T minus T by Tc raised to 3 by 2. Okay, from that we know that the total number of particle is equal to what? Particle at the ground level plus particle at the excited level, and from that with n0 will be equal to n minus ne, right? Okay, so I will be getting as n0 equal to n minus n into T by Tc. I can substitute. Okay, so that is equal to n0 equal to n into 1 minus T by Tc. T by Tc raised to 3 by 2 will be there. So that means n0 equal to the number of particles at the ground level, n0 divided by n, if you take the ratio, that is equal to, so that is equal to 1 minus T by Tc raised to 3 by 2. So this is the equation for the ratio of the number of particles at the ground state level with respect to the total number of particles. Okay, sorry, there must be more correction. Okay, okay. Here this I have to replace. Okay. So here also okay. So this is how the representation corresponding to this one. Okay. So this is how the case for if the temperature is greater than Tc case. Okay. So that's what we have analyzed there. Okay, if the temperature is greater than or equal to characteristic temperature, the different relation for the number of particles at the ground state excited level and the number of particles at the ground level will be evaluated here. And now we'll be addressing at T less than Tc. Okay, at T less than Tc, the system contains, the system will be having a mixture phases. Okay, what is the mixture phase means? There are two type of phases. One is normal phase and the other one is condensed phase. Okay, so normal phase means there will be the particle will be mostly at the excited level. So Ne equal to N into T by Tc raised to 3 by 2, and this will occur at epsilon not equal to 0, and condensed phase will be where the number of particles of the ground state will be more, so N minus Ne will be there, so which will be occur at the epsilon equal to 0, where epsilon is the single particle energy representation. Now if I plot this representation, okay, if I plot the representation with respect to n0 by n comma ne by n with respect to T by Tc, if you plot, then you will be observing the plot will be like this, and you will be having corresponding to Bose-Einstein condensation. You will have a plot like this. So this is the corresponding to n0 by n, and this is for ne by ne divided by n. Okay, and this will be mostly will be occur for Bose-Einstein case, right? For Bose-Einstein condensation case, this will be mostly occurring. So this will be with respect to T by Tc, it will be monotonically increasing. At level it will be getting saturated as well. Okay, so this is the condition for if the temperature is less than characteristic temperature. Okay, so this is first case, normal phase and a condensed phase. At T less than Tc, there will be a mixed phase, which is a normal phase and a condensed phase. And with respect to temperature and characteristic temperature, we have the following relation. Okay, now the next part of the discussion we will be addressing on the if the temperature is large. Okay, so the next case we will be addressing is that if the temperature is large or high and finite. Okay, if that is the scenario, what is the difference there? So here we will consider Cv by Nk. Okay, relation over here. So we have seen that Cv by Nk equal to 3 by 2 into 1 plus 0.0884 lambda q by V, okay, plus 0.0066 lambda q by V raised square plus etc. Like that, we already have seen the representation for the specific heat capacity divided by Nk. Now in this situation, if I consider that the temperature T is large, okay, which is large and finite as well, okay, which has a finite value, and that situation you can identify that the Cv will be greater than 3 by 2 Nk. Okay, this Nk you can cross it over here, and if you multiply this value, we can say that if T is large and finite, Cv will be greater than 3 by 2 Nk. And now if T is infinite at that time, which will be equal to lambda will be equal to 0, and T is finite at that situation, we can say that lambda will be small. Okay, it will be small but not 0 at that situation. And at that time, if you plot the Cv with respect to T, if you plot the graph between Cv and versus T over here, okay, then what you will be obtaining, that mostly you will be obtaining a negative slope. You can identify corresponding to that. That means T tends to 0 at that situation, Cv by Nk will be also what? It will be also tends to 0. So if I put that into a graphical representation, so I can draw the corresponding graph like this. So this is a graph. If you plot Cv by Nk with respect to T by Tc, if you plot, so this is the graph you will be getting. So this is a point, we call it as a characteristic temperature point Tc. At that point, so you can observe the value of maximum will be 1.925, and this plateau region now. So this plateau region, so the value will be 1.5. Okay. So next part of the discussion will be explaining how we will be getting this 1.925 region and all. So that means 1.5, it is how it comes means it is actually Cv will be equal to 3 by 2. Okay, so there will be some situation Cv by Nk is equal to 3 by 2. So that means 1.5 lakh. So this is a situation where we will be having Cv by Nk equal to 1.5. Okay, so these are the two values we will be getting, and here we can say that at this part of the graph, Cv is proportional to T raised to 3 by 2. Okay, so it is, that's why it is monotonically increasing at some point, and at a point this particular Tc, it is actually decreasing, because this is occurring because there is a phase transition also occurring at this point of time. Okay, so there is a phase transition also occurring, there is one structural change also occurring, so this is actually changing its phase from one phase to another phase. Sometimes it will be a phase within the material as well. So as we can say that, so at this situation Cv with respect to T raised to 3 by 2 is monotonically increasing. So above characteristic temperature it is decreasing exponentially, or rather it is decreasing in a up and approaching to almost to zero, like that. Okay, so here you can see that below the characteristic temperature, Cv is proportional to T raised to 3 by 2, and above the characteristic temperature Cv is equal to what? Cv is equal to will be decreasing with respect to that. So that was the aspect we have to share on this case. And now we'll also we are trying to actually find it out how we get the 1.925 as the maximum value at characteristic temperature. So that was the next exercise we need to do. Okay, so before that, or for doing that, we need to know basic few things. So we know that whenever we consider the temperature if less than the characteristic temperature, then we know that Bose-Einstein condensation will occur at that time. Okay, so at that scenario we also know that N0 will be equal to what? It will be the maximum value at a Bose-Einstein condensation point, right? And we also know that this will occur, the maximum value of N0 will occur at what? Where Z is equal to 1, where Z is the fugacity value, that is already we have discussed earlier. Okay, now the total energy of the system, I can represent as E equal to what? E equal to sigma epsilon divided by Z raised to minus 1 E raised to beta epsilon minus 1. Okay, so this is already we have seen the similar representation earlier on by taking the mean energy density representation. So we would have obtained the same result over there. So by considering this one, we will try to identify how we got the Cv by Nk as a maximum value as 1.925 or 1.93 or into that. Okay, so we'll just discuss that how we are getting that one. For that, I will introduce the total energy of the system will be epsilon sigma epsilon divided by z raised to minus 1 e raised to beta epsilon minus 1 representation. Okay, now here we say that the maximum possible value z is equal to minus 1, right? Okay, so z is equal to minus 1, sorry, z equal to 1. So this is the maximum obtainable for Bose-Einstein condensation. Okay, so that means if I substitute z equal to 1 over here, then the total energy becomes sigma epsilon divided by e raised to beta epsilon minus 1 will be. Okay, so here I say that it is z equal to 1. Okay, and now this sigma I'll just replace with the integration, that is if I am integrating over a volume, so that is 1 by h cube integral. We have done the similar one, 4 pi v p square dp, where v is the d cube q, that is v, and d cube p, that is equal to 4 pi p square dp. Okay, so we just introduced over a volume the total energy we need to identify. So that is, this is how the representation. Okay, now by considering this one, I can take it out the 4 pi v divided by h cube outside. Okay, and p square dp epsilon divided by e raised to epsilon by kt, where beta equal to what? Beta equal to 1 by kt, that is already we know. Okay, 1 by kt. Okay, now what I do here is that I can just replace this epsilon by p itself. So 4 pi by h square h cube p square dp. This epsilon is an energy term, so which I can represent as p square by 2m divided by e raised to p square by 2m kt minus 1. Okay, so here we substitute epsilon equal to what? P square by 2m, where p is the momentum, m is the mass. Okay, now if I say that p square 2m kt, for that I will be, if I give, which I represent as x square, then x is equal to what? X is equal to p by 2m kt raised to 1 by 2. Okay, So that means dx is equal to, which will be dp divided by 2mkt raised to 3 by 2. Okay, so that is the total energy. Now if I substitute that back into the equation, so which I'll be getting 4 pi v divided by h cube integral 2mkt, okay, into x square 2mkt raised to 1 by 2, okay, dx x square kt divided by e raised to x minus 1. So this will be the representation we will be obtaining for the energy, and that is equal to E equal to 4 pi v divided by h cube integral, which I can write it as x raised to 4 divided by e raised to x minus 1 dx, okay, into 2m kt raised to 3 by 2, okay, into kt, okay. So that is equal to, so that is equal to 4 pi v divided by h cube 2m raised to 3 by 2 kt raised to 5 by 4, sorry, 5 by 2, 5 by 2, 3 by 8 into root pi. So this is solution for x raised to 4, okay, root pi into 1.341 will be there, okay. So that is, if I got this representation from this one 4 pi, so that characteristic temperature we know Tc equal to, okay, so this is the energy representation we will be getting over here, okay, note this one. And now the characteristic temperature we know Tc equal to what? Tc equal to h cube, sorry, what was the characteristic temperature? So it was already we have seen, that is Tc equal to what? nh cube divided by v 2 pi mkt 3 by 2, 2.612, right? To verify it. So here this I can write it as Tc equal to h square, okay, so this is something I just missed over here. So in this representation there is a 1 by 2 by 3 will be there, no, sorry, so here it will be a 2 by 3 as well, right? Okay, Tc equal to nh cube v into 2 pi mkt 3 by 2, 2.612 raised to 2 by 3, okay. So this was the representation, sorry, okay. Okay, from that Tc will be equal to h square divided by 2 pi mk n divided by v into 2.612 raised to 2 by 3. I can write it as 2 by 3, right? 2 by 3, okay. From that I'll be getting volume is equal to what? Volume is equal to n by 2.612 h square divided by 2 pi mkt 2 pi mkt 2 pi mkt c raised to 3 by 2, okay. So this is the representation I'll be getting over here, So now if I substitute this volume in the above equation, above energy equation, if I substitute the volume, okay, now this equation becomes this E equal to, okay, now I can substitute V in the equation of energy. So we will be getting E equal to, the energy will be equal to 4 pi h cube n by 2.612 h square divided by 2 pi mktc raised to 3 by 2, 2m into 3 by 2, okay, kt into kt raised to 5 by 2, 3 by 8 root pi into 1.341, right? 0.341, right? What was, yeah, 0.3414, right? 341. Okay, so now if you solve it out this one, so you can cancel out many things. Okay, so finally what you will be going to get is that the energy E will be equal to, you will be getting 0.77 nk t raised to 5 by 2 divided by Tc raised to 3 by 2. So this will be the total energy of a system at Bose-Einstein condensation state. Okay. So from that, this energy you can consider as an internal energy. So the specific heat capacity will be equal to dou E by dou T. Okay. So this is equal to, this is the energy of a system. So you can take it as internal energy of system. So 0.77 Nk. So 0.77 Nk 5 by 2 into T raised to 5 by 2, and Tc is a constant, so that is Tc 3 by 2 will be there. Okay, and now from this representation, this Cv will be equal to what? Cv will be equal to, so if you solve it out this one, you will be getting Cv will be equal to 1.93 Nk T by Tc raised to 3 by 2. Okay, so this is a value for the specific heat capacity at the Bose-Einstein condensation state, and here you can see that the Cv will be equal to what? Cv by Nk will be equal to, okay, here the Cv by Nk will be equal to 1.93 1.93 into T by Tc raised to 3 by 2. Okay, so this is the value you will be obtaining in that condition, and also you can see that that correct, sorry, here is no correction is there, this is not T raised 5 by 2, right? Okay, this will be T raised to 3, right? Cv will be equal to E by dot T. Okay, 1.3 Nk T by Dc. Okay, fine. So from that we will be getting Cv by Nk equal to 1.93 T by Dc raised to 3 by 2. So this is the representation we will be getting here. Okay, now when you can just consider this equation, so here you can see that Cv by Nk is proportional to T by Tc raised to 3 by 2. Okay, so now if I consider T equal to 0, if I consider T equal to 0, then what? Cv will be equal to what? Cv will be equal to 0. Okay, and at a T equal to Tc, So C equal to Tc, then what we will be obtaining? In that situation, Cv will be equal to, sorry, Cv by Nk will be equal to what? Cv by Nk will be equal to 1.93. So here Cv by Nk will be equal to 0 as well. Okay. So now we'll come back to the first that graph that we already has discussed, where we have seen that we have a monotonically increasing, then we have a decreasing graph corresponding to, and this point of the graph we notated as Tc, and this is T by Tc, and this is Cv by Nk, and this plateau region we said that this is 1.5, and this is actually 1.93. okay. Now here you can see that this 1.93 is easily you are getting at T equal to Tc, okay, from the above representation. So Cv by Nk is equal to 1.93 at this representation, and when we'll be also obtaining the same scenario here. Now we'll just see an experimental observation corresponding to this as well. Okay, so we consider here a helium gas, liquid helium gas. Okay, so which is so we consider an example of liquid helium. Okay, so which has a plot, you can see that the phase transition graph corresponding to this one, which is actually represented this one, and the Curie point, or the the transition point for this one, which we noted as 2.9 Kelvin. So this is the transition temperature that we observe for this one, and which is explained by F. London. Okay, and the phase transition occur at 2.919 K in general. Okay, now if you theoretically if you evaluate the helium value, so that is the mass of the value we all know, 6.65 into 10 raised to minus 24 gram, and the volume, if you can say that it is 276 centimeter cube per mole. Okay, and in that situation this Tc you will be obtaining will be approximately equal to 3.3 K. Okay, if you give this value for the above equation, you will be getting the Tc will be equal to 3.13 K, but experimentally the value observed was the phase transition temperature was 2.90 K. So that was a contradictory case for the explanation of characteristic temperature representation for Bose-Einstein condensation. An example of liquid helium case we have discussed here. So further how to address this case, that will be discussed on later on. Okay, so this was the whole idea of the Bose-Einstein condensation. Here in this today's discussion we mainly addressed the different condition for Bose-Einstein condensation in terms of number of particles, in terms of temperature case, and we also see a characteristic temperature. Below that one can observe the Bose-Einstein condensation. Above that there will be no condensation, the particles will be at the excited level. And we also have seen the when the temperature is finite and it's high, in that situation the specific heat capacity divided by Nk graph we have seen with respect to T by Tc representation. The maximum value of the graph is obtained at when temperature T equal to the characteristic temperature, where Cv by Nk will be equal to 1.93 value. Okay, and we have seen a case of this is a Curie temperature representation corresponding to Cv by Nk graph for and T by Tc for a liquid helium graph. Here this point the noted as the characteristic temperature is 2.19 K. Okay, so below that it will be acted as a liquid helium. Okay, and above this one, so above this one it will be showing a liquid form as well. Okay, so we mostly it will be a gas. Okay, so below that it will be a liquid helium. So more normally helium for to be converted to be helium liquid helium. So normally helium gas can be compressed to a liquid helium by at the temperature of 4 degree Kelvin, close to 4 degree. So we say that in theoretically if you note down the for a volume of 276 centimeter cube per mole, 6.65 raised to minus 24 mass. Okay, if you represent that, in that situation, the probable value should be 3.13 K. At this point, helium gas will be converted to liquid helium. Okay, but experimentally we observed the temperature of characteristic temperature is 2.19 K. So there was a contradiction between this one, though that we will be addressing later on. Okay, so that's all about today's session. So in the next class we will be discussing about the Planck radiation law, distribution law. So that will be discussing on the next class. Okay, thank you.